Welcome back to my channel, the place where we dive deep into the games that shaped us, challenged us, and sometimes got completely overlooked. Whether it's hidden gems, cult classics, or next-level tech that was way ahead of its time. This is where we celebrate the games that deserve better. So if you love gaming history with a bit of edge and nostalgia, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about a game that pushed boundaries, crushed GPUs, and still doesn't get the credit it deserves. There's a question I keep coming back to. How do we sleep on this game? Because in 2013, something wild happened in gaming. A game came out that looked like it belonged in the next generation, not the one we were in. It wasn't just flashy. It was straight up alien in how advanced it was. And yet, most people didn't really talk about it. Or worse, they couldn't even run it. This is Crysis 3. And it wasn't just ahead of its time. It might have been too far ahead. Too beautiful, too bold, too technical for its own good. Let's talk about it. Let's break down why Crysis 3 deserves way more love than it ever got, and why, looking back, it might be one of the most underrated shooters of its era. First things first, the visuals. I mean, come on. Even today, Crysis 3 looks absolutely stunning. Like, you could show someone a screenshot and tell them it's from a game releasing this year, and they'd probably believe you. We're talking ultra-detailed textures, global illumination, real-time shadows, complex weather systems, volumetric lighting, particle effects, all running in CryEngine 3, which was basically a tech demo disguised as a game. It had water physics, destructible environments, insane draw distances. The level of fidelity was just next level. I still remember people saying things like, "I can't even play this on high settings, and I just upgraded my rig." This wasn't just a video game, it was a stress test. A rite of passage for PC gamers. That's where the legendary phrase, "but can it run Crysis?" really cemented itself into gaming culture. And it wasn't just a meme, it was the truth. Even top-end hardware struggled to handle Crysis 3 at Ultra. But here's the thing, graphics alone don't make a game great. And what really made Crysis 3 stand out, what made it special, was how it made you feel. The Nanosuit. That's where the magic happened. It was basically like wearing a superhero costume that turned you into a ghost or a tank, depending on your playstyle. You could cloak and silently pick off enemies like a high-tech predator, or switch to armor mode and charge in a battle, bullets bouncing off you as you wrecked everything in your path. The gameplay wasn't rigid. It let you choose your approach, and it rewarded creativity. 1 minute you're creeping through the grass, lining up a headshot with your compound bow, which, by the way, is one of the coolest weapons ever put in a game. And the next, you're jumping 15 feet onto a rooftop, tossing an EMP grenade, and unloading a shotgun into a Ceph war machine. It was freedom. Pure, chaotic, beautiful freedom. And speaking of beauty, the setting was something else. Crysis 3 took place in a future version of New York City, trapped under a massive biodome. Nature had reclaimed everything. Skyscrapers were covered in vines, streets had become rivers, and wildlife roamed the ruins of civilization. It was this surreal mix of post-apocalyptic decay and lush jungle. You felt like you were exploring Earth after humanity lost, and it was hauntingly gorgeous. The verticality of the level design, the open-ended objectives, the sandbox-style layouts, it all came together in a way that gave you space to think, to plan, to play it your way. And that kind of gameplay, that was rare in 2013, especially in a big-budget shooter. Now, with all this praise, you might be thinking, okay, then why didn't it blow up? And honestly, that's the tragic part. There were a few reasons. First, accessibility. The average gamer in 2013 didn't have a rig that could handle Crysis 3 at even medium settings. That instantly cut out a massive chunk of potential players. And while it did come to consoles, the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions were heavily scaled down. The magic just didn't fully translate. Second, franchise fatigue. By the time Crysis 3 launched, some fans were already feeling let down after Crysis 2, which shifted the tone and simplified some of the systems from the original game. So Crysis 3 had to win people back, and for many, it didn't feel like enough of a leap. Third, timing. Crysis 3 launched right before the PS4 and Xbox One dropped. It was a last-gen title that looked next-gen, but people were already moving on mentally. It got caught in the transition, overshadowed, forgotten. And that's honestly a shame. Because if Crysis 3 had released today, with today's hardware, today's hunger for immersive FPS games, and today's nostalgia-driven audience, it might have been a massive hit. But here's the good news. Over the past few years, more and more gamers are rediscovering it. Whether it's through the remastered version or just going back to the original with a powerful PC, people are finally seeing it for what it really was, a masterpiece that didn't get its moment. It's aged like wine, and that bow still slaps. Now we live in a world of ray tracing, photogrammetry, 120 frames per second benchmarks. But somehow, Crysis 3 still holds its own. That's not just impressive, that's legendary. So yeah, Crysis 3 wasn't just a game. It was a flex from Crytek, a studio that wanted to show what was possible when you stop holding back and just go for it. A flex from PC gamers who build insane rigs just to run this one title. And a flex from a time when games weren't afraid to push boundaries, even if it meant leaving some players behind. Sometimes the future shows up early, and sometimes we only realize how far ahead something was once everything else catches up. If you played Crysis 3, I want to hear from you. What was your favorite moment? That perfect stealth kill? That epic battle with the Ceph? Drop it in the comments. And if you haven't played it yet, go check it out. You've got the hardware now. You owe it to yourself. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a forgotten gem, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel for more content just like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.